The president's spokeswoman, Masaki, announced today that we probably couldn't get all out by August 31st. Every expert and top person in the administration I've talked to, including and also our NATO allies, all agree we cannot get them out by August 31st. So they will be left behind in enemy territory. And the interpreters and our partners who we had that commitment to will most likely be executed. Um, I would say, you don't do an arbitrary deadline. You conduct it by the mission and let the military conduct the mission to bring all Americans home by whatever time frame they need. Unfortunately, we're at the mercy of the Taliban. At the airport, we have to rely on the Taliban uh, for our perimeter, which is a sad state of affairs. I don't think we can trust them. And now even more extreme force ISIS-K is now at that airport. This is I got to tell you, it's probably one of the biggest foreign policy blunders, again, in my lifetime. And the sad thing is that it could have been prevented. But now we have an unconditional surrender after 20 years of fighting the Taliban, unconditional surrender to the Taliban. And I think our veterans and I think our Five Eyes, Australia included, feel like abandoned. They question whether it was worth it. And think about this, Sorry, they have more Black Hawk helicopters than Australia does, a Five Eye ally. They are so weaponized right now because we left all this hardware, all this equipment. We left the biometrics on our Afghan partners that the Taliban now have, so they can go in and execute them. This has not been planned well, and it's going to, as I've said before, president's going to have blood on his hands.
Well, don't you think the Republicans bear some responsibility here as well? It was President Trump who made the deal to release thousands of terrorists in Afghanistan.
Yeah, I never agreed with this concept that we can negotiate with them. I think the thinking was at that time we had to make them part of the provisional government. But Sharri, you think about it, they're about, at that time, about 80,000. Now they're about 100,000 out of a country of 38 million people. But I will tell you that agreement, I've talked to Secretary Pompeo and National Security O'Brien, that it was conditions based, and they were violating the terms of the condition by not cutting their ties to Al Qaeda. And when they did violate it, we would hit them. We would airstrike them. I just can't imagine President Trump sitting back and watching the surrender to the Taliban without taking actions. Remember, this is the same president that dropped the mother of all bombs on Afghanistan. I just don't think that's his DNA. I think this is really an attempt to shift the blame to others. He's tried to shift the blame to the Afghan army, who was abandoned by us, and their own president, President Ghani, abandoned them, to the intelligence community, who actually got it right, to our own armed forces. It's his decision, and he owns it.